Hello, this is D, and I'm back with another video. Well, the last few days, we've gotten some more information on the PlayStation 5 cooling system, as well as the Xbox Series X. So today I'm going to start off with the PlayStation 5, the new information that we received. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I was a little bit surprised by the details. Now, this is coming from Ars Technica, and like usual, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you guys can check it out for yourself. Now, they're saying that the PlayStation 5 will use downloadable updates to control a game-by-game fan speed. Now, this is coming from one of the system's creators. Now, the same gentleman that showed us the teardown. Now, apparently he did an interview with a Japanese specialized magazine called 4Gamer, and they've posted an interview with this hardware designer in the video, and his name is Yoshiro Otora. Now, the interview is translated, and they give us a look behind Sony's next generation console, how they deal with the heat dissipation. Now, he goes on to say that they will optimize the speed of the cooling fan on a per game basis via a downloadable system update. Now, various games will appear in the future, and the APU behavior data for each game will be collected, and based on this, there's a plan to proceed with optimizing the fan control. Now, this is really strange to me. Now, I know that the PlayStation 5 has variable speeds. We're gonna get some bursts where some of the heat needs to be dissipated quite quickly, so I can understand them wanting to ramp up the fans. Now, overall, I'm hearing that the PlayStation 5 is a pretty quiet system. Now, how quiet it will be after this update and they optimize these fans for some games that are probably stressing out the PlayStation 5, I would assume that the fans would get louder. Now, the fact that Sony is going to implement a download that will take data from your system in order to make sure that the fan speed is optimized kind of tells me that their overall cooling system is not as efficient as first thought. Now, we know that they're using liquid metal, which will keep the system quite cool, but once again, this console is clocked at 2.23 gigahertz, and in order to ensure those speeds, they have to make sure that the temperature of the console is cool, and of course, if it's wrapping up, they're going to have to speed up those fans. Now, the fact that they don't have a curve that is just constant to cool the system tells me that it's just not as efficient as Sony would like it to be. Now, I know some guys already are complaining in the comment section down below and saying that I'm being biased. I'm just simply stating the facts. It should have a normal fan curve. Now, on the Xbox Series X, we have a constant speed on the GPU as well as the fan curve. It doesn't really ramp up and down. Now, I'm sure there's some increments that when the console gets a little bit warmer, it does gradually go up, but it's not going to be variable like the PlayStation 5 will, at least that this update suggests. Now, I do think overall that both of the consoles are going to be cool. I've seen some reports that the PlayStation 5 is running a little bit warmer than the Xbox Series X. Now, yesterday, Digital Foundry did do a temperature test on the Xbox Series X, and they found that the console reaches about 60 degrees Celsius overall at a worst case scenario. Now, for most of the time, it's running around 50 degrees Celsius. Now, I saw some people saying, oh, this is so hot. This is not hot at all. Now, for a console that has the form factor of the Xbox Series X and packs the power that it has inside of it, this is a very good metrics. Now, I'll give you guys an example on the PC. Now, if you have a GPU on your PC, it's not going to be running at 60 degrees Celsius under load. That's just not going to happen unless perhaps you have it liquid cooled or you have it in an open test bench. Inside an enclosure, it's not going to be running 60 degrees Celsius at full load unless maybe you have the fans at full speed, and at that point the acoustics of the PC is just going to be extremely loud. Now, overall, GPUs range from about, I would say, 70 to 78 degrees, usually under load. Some situations maybe 68, 67 degrees Celsius, but overall they don't run at 60 degrees Celsius unless, like I said, you have the fans at full speed or it's liquid cooled. So this is a very good metric for the Xbox Series X. Now, the PlayStation 5, I do think it's going to run a little bit hotter overall just because of the speeds that they're achieving on this console. 2.23 gigahertz is extremely high for a console, but at the same time, I don't think we're going to have any issues with the PlayStation 5. Now, I'm not quite sure on the acoustics after this update is enabled on the PlayStation 5. Perhaps the console will get a little bit louder. I think overall the console will remain cool. I think the sounds will be bearable. I don't think they're going to be loud like the PlayStation 4 Pro. I just think overall we may see some games where the speeds ramp up in order to achieve the 2.23 gigahertz that game requires. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. What did you think about Digital Foundry's analysis on the Xbox Series X heat dissipation? As well, what are your thoughts on the PlayStation 5 and apparently an update that will enable this fan speed to ramp up and down depending on the game? Let me know in the comments comment section down below. And like I usually say, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.